Hello, this is Catherine Lyon. Welcome to the Collaborate Ultra tutorial for online teaching. Collaborate Ultra is a tool that's built into Canvas, and it allows you to hold live lectures with students that are interactive. You can also hold tutorials, or your TAs can hold tutorials, and you can hold office hours that are group or individual and private. So let's get started. Collaborate Ultra is already built into Canvas, so if you go to your Canvas course, on the left side of the page, you should see Collaborate Ultra already. If it's not there, you just need to enable it in the settings. So scroll down and click Settings. And then hit the Navigation tab. The top half of the page is course features that are visible to students, and the bottom half of the page is course features that have not been made visible to students. So if Collaborate Ultra is down here in the bottom, all you need to do is drag it up to the top and it will be visible to students. You can see I already have Collaborate Ultra up here. Once you've done that, just click Save and you should be ready to go. So let's click on Collaborate Ultra on the left side here. And we are going to create a session. Let's call this Lecture X. Okay. So once you've given your session a title, you'll have the option to join it right away, or you can change some of the settings first. The standard settings are very good, so you could just join the session. That works for me, but I'll talk you through them just in case. So first we have this anonymous dial-in. If a student doesn't have Wi-Fi, then they can call in with this number and they can hear the audio of the lecture. If you would like students to have guest access because they can't get onto Canvas, you can give them this web link that they can access from any computer. So you're going to make them a participant, but let's say you wanted students to be able to give a class presentation. You can make them a presenter and then they can share their screen and their files with the class. So that way you can have group presentations that you can still grade using Collaborate Ultra. Automatically, your session is going to be set to start at the time that you initiated it. But let's say that you have a weekly lecture from 4 to 5 on Mondays. You can set this from 4 to 5 and click Repeat Session, and then it can repeat weekly for you on the day that you choose. I'm going to leave the 15-minute start time for students, which means they can enter this online digital space 15 minutes early so they can become accustomed to it. So now I'm going to click Save. And here I have my Lecture X. If I click on it again, I will hit Join Session. Now we are entering the digital space. So there's 3 key areas to pay attention to in this space. The first, we'll go from left to right. The first on the left side is the session menu. Here, you have the option to record your session. I think that this is fantastic because it allows you to record your lecture and then to post it on Canvas so students can watch later if they missed the initial session or if they just want a refresher. So I highly recommend you record the lecture. Next, at the bottom here, you're going to want to enable your own microphone, and you have the option to share video of yourself. So if you share video, there'll be a vision of your head on the bottom left that students will be able to see, and this can be comforting to students, but that's totally up to you. Make sure when you begin the session that you tell students to mute their own audio and to turn off their video. That way it will save the bandwidth and you have minimal chances of technological issues. Also, note that Collaborate Ultra has been used effectively with up to 250 students at a time, and its Wi-Fi features tend to be more consistent than Skype for Business, which is another option that UBC offers. So let's go over here to the purple control panel. If I click on the control panel, we have the chat function in the bubble here. So this allows you to have a chat with everyone in the room with you. And students here can ask you questions, and they can also respond via writing to questions that you pose orally during the lecture. If you want, you can have a side chat with other moderators. So this could be your teaching assistants who might be helping you run the session. And you can also type in the name of students so you can privately chat one-on-one with them. Here, if you want to know who's in the session with you, you go to the Attendee tab. And right now it's just me, but you would be able to see all of your students and TAs as well. The Share Content tab allows you to share various documents and screens with your students in real time. So the first option is to share your whiteboard. Here you can type as you're talking, you can also draw, and so on. To stop sharing, just click on the stop button and it will disappear. Then you can share an application or a screen. So you have 3 options here. You can share your entire screen, but I don't recommend that because you might have emails coming in. It just gives away a bit of your privacy and control. So instead, you might share an application window. So you can see here that I have Excel open. So if I click on that application and click share, then students will be able to see what I'm doing in that application in real time as I'm speaking about it. So I'm going to stop sharing that. Also, you have the option to share a tab on your web browser. So I have a YouTube video open on another tab, which I'm going to share.
About all of. Good to see you. Yeah, hey, what's with the polka dots? What do you?
So you can see here that students would be able to view the YouTube video alongside you. This might be difficult if you have a large number of students in the room. You could also just give them the link and they could watch it on their own computer at the same time. So I'll stop sharing that. Then if you want to share a file directly, this is how I might share my PowerPoint with students. So I'm going to click Add Files and I will upload my lecture PowerPoint. It's just converting the file, which takes a few minutes for longer files. Once it's converted, I can click Share Now, and I have all of my slides. And I click on my slide, and I can speak about it and annotate it while we are going. So I'll stop sharing that, and I'll go back to Share Content. There's some interactive options here. In addition to the chat function, you can poll students. So let's say I want to ask them a multiple choice question about a concept we just discussed or the video we just watched. I could ask, do you agree? Get an opinion poll going, and you can give them options: strongly agree, somewhat agree, and you can keep adding choices. When you're ready, you can click start, and immediately students will have access to this poll, and you will have your aggregated class data, almost like doing iClicker or Top Hat, but in an online context. So I'll stop that. You'll also notice that students can raise their hand while you are giving your presentation. When they click on raise hand, you'll get a notification in the top right that says, Joe just asked a question, and then you can use your audio to directly refer to Joe and ask him to unmute his mic and ask the question, or you can go to the chat function, the public chat, and say, Joe, do you have a question? And then Joe can respond in the chat where everyone can see. So if I go back to my Share Content tab, I'd also like to highlight breakout groups. So this is how you can enable small group discussions, which is a nice way to break up a lecture and help students share ideas and apply concepts immediately. So right now it's just me in the main room, but if there were 10 other students in here, I could put them into different groups, maybe 2 or 3 students per group. I could allow my attendees to switch groups, and if I press start, then say I want to put myself in group 1. If I press start, then I should be transported to group 1. Here we go, starting breakout groups. You'll be in group 1. So now when I'm in my breakout group, I will have audio and video access to only the other members of my group, and we can chat in here. When I, as the instructor, want to stop the breakout groups, I just press End Breakout Groups, and everyone will return to the main room. So those are the key features of Collaborate Ultra. When you are done, you can stop your recording and you can leave the session. After you've left the session, if you go back to the main Collaborate Ultra page, on the top left of this page, you will see a menu with recordings. And that's where you will find the recording, and that is what you can share with students so they can watch it later. So Collaborate Ultra provides an option for live lectures as well as recorded lectures. And I'll just note that if you're thinking of using this feature for office hours, you can use the group discussion feature, and you can put each student in a different room, and then you can visit each room and have private conversations with those students. Or you can keep all students in the main room and have a collective office hours. Arts IT is giving workshops on Collaborate Ultra several times a week for the next 2 weeks, so make sure you check that out for more information, and check out the online teaching workshop Canvas course where we will have detailed links with more information.